Time to call the April Elizabethton Board of Education meeting to order. At this time, I'll call on Mr. Van Huss to lead us in a moment of silence and a pledge to the flag.
Thank you. Please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's now time to approve consent agenda and regular agenda. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
So move, and a second.
Second.
All right, have both. Any items need to be pulled off, moved to the regular, anything like that? Okay, hearing none. Again, the motions to approve consent agenda and regular agenda. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. It's now time for citizens to speak. We did not have anyone request to speak before the board, so we will move on to special recognitions, and I'll turn that over again to Mr. Van Huss to those. And I will let you know if you're here for the recognition part, once that's over, we will give you an opportunity to head out if you have something else you need to do. You're welcome to stay, but we want to let you know if you just stay till we get through with all those. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pless. First on the list, we have the Elizabethton High School girls basketball team. So if Coach Andrews and staff and players want to come on up and share with everyone the accolades of the season.
Coach Holt wasn't able to be with us tonight. He may be a little bit late, but I thought I'd step in here just for a second before Coach Andrews gets a chance. Just to introduce these fine young women and their accomplishments this season. I had a chance clearly to follow them closely, some of the ones who are seniors over the last couple of years, even 3 to 4 years, and watch some of their levels of success. So it's really special, not only to see a team do what this team was able to do this season, but off of the last couple seasons going to the state tournament, losing some key players off of a team and really just rebounding and having a tough start to the season and just continually to get better. And then it got tournament time and it really got real. And it did in Cott County too. So it was a fantastic experience. I was there for the last game, watching the kids sell out and just do everything they could do to possibly win. I was proud not to be a Cyclone, and I really enjoyed watching this team as they've grown up over the year. I'll turn it over to Coach Andrews because he's got all the good play calls. He's got something I'm sure he can say. So.
First off, just want to thank Mr. Van Huss, School Board, Central Office, Dr. Minton, Coach Holt, our administration, and our teachers just for unbelievable support all year. This is probably the wildest season that I have been a part of. Losing some players, like Dr. Minton said, and then just didn't really know how we were going to move pieces around, and then about May we start with the first ACL tear and end up having 4 all summer long. We have 2 broken ankles during the season. We got 2 girls up here that played all year, maybe some of last year with broken noses. So just the toughness that this team showed for the last year is just incredible. That'll make them, incredible leaders, and that adversity that hit them, and they just kept coming back. I mean, you can ask them every day at practice, who's sick, who's hurt, who's whatever. Let's try to piece something together for the next game in a couple nights. So just incredibly proud of them. We've got all conference players here. We got some all tournament players. This senior class, talk about them a little bit. When they come in, it was the unknown. They're the class that come in as freshmen during COVID, that we were spraying basketballs with aerosol and trying to kill everything in sight. And I tell them all the time their defense was the result of COVID because we had to stay 6 feet apart from everybody. So just coming in, because they'll tell you, like, summer is one of our favorite times of the basketball season because you just come together, and then that was taken away from them. But, you know, they've got numerous district championships, conference championships under their belt, region championships, a couple trips to the state tournament. They've made 3 consecutive sub-state appearances, which is extremely unheard of. I know with girls basketball in Elizabethton, it's not. That's kind of the standard, but and it's what we live up to. But in just the area, we're just one of few that's got that. So just extremely proud of what they accomplished. About December, I don't know if there was anybody, and we even talked about it as a team, don't even know if the team was counting us in the fight at the end. And like KK said one time in film, why not us? We chose to do it the hard way all year. We might as well keep digging now. So I can't speak enough about what they have done all year. They don't know this, but I got a ton of emails, phone calls, text messages throughout the tournament just praising them for what they were doing. So extremely proud of them. And another thing, extremely proud of the coaches that I've had a chance to work with. Melinda's not here. She finally decided to have her baby a couple weeks ago, so that's her excuse right now. But she's retiring on us, and Coach Smith, he's retiring again for what's this? About the 3rd or 4th time you're retiring. So, and they deserve it because not only the girls, but Coach Smith, Coach Melinda, Coach Macy, they are a big part of the success this program has had over the last couple of years. So I thank them, and can't replace them, but we'll try our best. And I told them that they've always got a key to the gym to get their hind end back in there and help us out.
Yeah.
Y'all got anything to say? You want to say what you Thank you.
All right.
Okay, now we need to form up for a picture here, and I'm sure y'all can handle this. Maybe let's do 2 rows, and there you go. There you go. I knew you could do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coach. Players, parents too. Thank you all. I'd like to ask Mr. Russell and Diesel to come up. If y'all don't mind to step up here for just a second, put you on the spot. We want to recognize Mr. Russell and his son Diesel. Diesel's a junior at the high school right now. For their contributions to the construction of a new discus pad and throwing cage at the high school campus. Of course, I said, Diesel is a high school student at the high school, and hopefully on his way to being a competitive thrower here in the next couple weeks, and also very talented in other ways I'll tell you about in a second. But they donated their time and equipment and started the planning a while back, doing some grade work, installed concrete, installed the sleeves for the discus poles, and then were able to secure donations from Summers and Taylor, of course, a local company, which is fantastic to both reduce the cost and then add to the community input and involvement in getting this project completed. So it's just adding to our track and field facilities, continuing to get better. So it's rivaling most colleges, especially locally. So as it continues to improve, having the input of parents and community stakeholders and our students, which is really neat, is something that we are just proud of and want to say thank you. The project will impact several students and several student athletes in the future. And so we just want to say thank you for your generosity and your time and commitment. Just a little interesting tidbit about Diesel. You'll probably hear a little bit more about this from Skills USA competitions a little later, but I'll give you just a little snip into that. We had several first place winners and some bronze finalists. Diesel finished first in electrical wiring in Chattanooga last week in Skills USA. He was offered a job on the spot, but he's just a junior, so they're going to have to wait until he gets his diploma first. So, but anyway, thank you all. I appreciate all your time. And Diesel, it's going to be fun to watch and see the direction you go over the next year or so and after graduation. So let's get a picture and give him a round of applause, please.
I want to say thank you because Coach Presnell's been on us about that area. And so thank you very much for your help in making that a reality. So
Just 50 years in the making,
Just
maybe.
something like
So I think.
I'll go ahead and with the next set here, and then Mr. Holly's got some recognitions he wants to recognized as well too. So Bo and Baylor, if y'all don't care to come on up for just a second. These are two students, and Hannah as well. 3 out of the 4 students who attended the Scope conference. Keep forgetting about Hannah because she's went twice, so she got the special effect. I got a chance to do this last year, which was my first opportunity to go down and watch the Scope conference the first day. Matter of fact, just so happened, it was the day prior to, or maybe even the day of, the first round of the state basketball tournament. So it was a really good opportunity to take one trip and get a chance to see a couple different things. So you all know what the Scope conference is. You've heard a little bit about it. If you're in the crowd and you don't know what that is, the Scope conference is a really unique opportunity for student leaders across the state to come together and learn about government. And for students who apply and students who are interested, they have to go through a competitive interview process. And just this year, we decided we would try to create an overlapping theme where a student who is sitting on the school board would be sitting or going to the conference, and then whoever was elected to the school board, which Hudson Smith, and he's not here, not able to be with us, but they get a chance to go down and again, intermingle and learn and just get to know students who are like them, who have interest in student government and leadership, and then also get to chime in and talk and debate and even look at what it means to vote for, build, and just make an impact on school policy. And in a lot of cases, just like this year and last year, some real life things that are coming up in legislation. So it's a really cool experience as far as leadership is concerned, and especially for students who are going to be sitting on our school board. And again, Hudson's not here. But Bo Corum, Baylor Hopland, and Hannah McCoy, and then of course Hudson will be here, or Hudson will be sitting on the board. I guess it'll be next school year, but maybe even as early as this summer. So we're proud to have those students represent us. I've got a certificate here, so let's give these students a round of applause for their representation. I think Hannah wants to say something about the experience. She can probably describe it much better than I. Come on, Hannah.
Hello. So I know I spoke a little bit last year, but this year was slightly different for me. So part of the process is there are 4 debate topics, and within your group, you are assigned a position. So whether you're for it or against it. And if Baylor wants to, she can speak about this. We were both selected as the speakers for our group. We had 2 different topics. So my topic was student cell phone use during school hours shall be prohibited, and we were for that. So our group was challenged to come up with different pros for that argument as well as cons, because there was a rebuttal part of the debate. So that was a really neat experience and something different that I didn't do last year. I had just had my wisdom teeth removed the Friday before, and whenever I got there, I told myself, I'm just going to sit back and kind of watch. I did this last year. I'll be fine. Don't have to participate. No, that didn't happen. So I was the speaker, and Baylor was too. And for her debate, that was on AI usage for homework, and that debate actually ended up being a tie. So that was really neat to see. Students got to vote after the debate was finished. So yeah, that was our experience, and thank you for the opportunity to go once again.
Well, thank you all. Yeah.
All right. As y'all know, my name's Jason Hawley. I am the pre-law teacher at Elizabethton High School. Several years ago, the high school had a mock trial program that had gone away for, I think, about 10 years. When I got there, one of my goals was to make a new mock trial team, and hopefully that would carry on as we go throughout the year. So Gracie Kirsch, who's up here, she's a senior. She was in the first group of students for our new mock trial team. What they do is they get a case file, they get all the exhibits, all the statements, and they go in the courtroom and try a real case. This year they tried it inside their federal courthouse in Greenville, which is an awesome experience. You don't often get to go in there for any reason. But they got to go in there and they tried it in front of our federal judges. And so it was a really cool experience to see them up there performing in front of those judges. I told them, the first judge, I just lost his name, I think Gracie or somebody said, he's about to make me cry. I said, he makes me cry, so don't worry about it. But they did fantastic, and they're very talented. Melinda is on the end. Nelson, she was first one this year, but she's been in a couple of my classes. I begged her to do it, and she did, and she's a fantastic attorney. Jackson, who's on the end, Jackson actually was awarded Attorney of the Day for the whole event this time, and that's a huge honor to be awarded as Attorney of the Day. And so I'm super proud of them. I hope this carries on. I think we've got a lot of interest in it. We started with one team, and now we've got two. And so hopefully that'll carry on as the years go by. But it's a lot of fun. I told them, and I'm sincere about this, when we got finished, I said I would hire any of you to represent me. You're that good at what you do. And so I hope they choose to be a dentist, but if they don't, I hope they go to law school. All right, I'm super proud of them. Yeah, thank you.
Before we move on with reports, if you have anything pressing, you're free to go at this time. If you would like to stay, we would love to have company, but this would be the time to exit if you need to.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for all you've done.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, brother.
Appreciate you.
Put me in, Coach.
Okay.
Skeleton crew.
Yeah. So we know who's required to
All
stay.
those remaining.
Yes. But we appreciate you staying.
Except for the chief. The chief is not required.
The chief is not
The
required.
chief is
Yes.
not required. So.
But at this time, I will turn it over again to Mr. Van Huss for the director's update.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. Just wanted to talk a second about the season that we're in. It's testing season, and just want to commend our staff members all across the system for making that run relatively seamlessly thus far. We have a few more days of that. It will spill into next week as well at several locations, but our initial benchmark testing results that we received those results were from February, look very promising, and the correlation between those and TCAP results have been very reliable. So we're very excited about the opportunity that we have for our students to display all that they've learned this year, and we really feel like that we're set up for a great year. So again, it takes everyone to pull that off. Everyone from cafeteria staff to custodians, teachers, teacher assistants, administrators. We had 2 administrators today that had small groups that they were testing. So it takes a village, and we're very thankful for our village and all they've done. Just wanted to mention briefly, as many of you know, Miss Owen is our board attorney, and she had an accident about a week ago. She actually fell down a flight of stairs, broke some fingers, injured a leg. Thankfully, no head injury, neck, back, nothing like that. So I just wanted to, we're so fortunate to have her. She's been our attorney, one of our attorneys for many, many years, and she's excellent at what she does. And as we often say, when we're in a situation, we're glad that she's on our side. Just as Mr. Hawley mentioned before, good attorneys are extremely valuable, and she's been fantastic for our system. So I just wanted to mention that. If you would please keep her in your thoughts and prayers. Capital projects, again, continue to make steady progress on several items. One of those we'll talk more about soon, the athletic training facility at the high school. But the remodel at the Community Development and Engagement Center, the old Union Pharmacy building, continues to move along. We've moved in the alternative school. That happened, I think, middle of last week or the week before. So things seem to be going well there. We'll now focus on the other side and work on the PD side as well as the family resource side. So there's work to do there, and we hope to have all that completed this summer and be in there at the start of the 24 school year. Also, the Harold McCormick project continues to move along well. We're down to three classrooms, the final 3 classrooms in this phase of the project. And there's also work to be done in the hallway, and that will all take place after the school year is over. Obviously, we have to have access to the hallway to get to the classes. So it was staggered that way intentionally, and so that work will finish up this summer, and well over half the building will be completed, will be asbestos free and remodeled completely. So long overdue, and we just thank Mr. Weems and J.E. Green for all their work on that project as well. I think most of you have been able to go by there. If you haven't, let me know. I mean, I don't have to go with you, but if you want me to, would love for you to go by there and take a look. Obviously, tons of recognitions today. That's always a highlight of the board meeting to me, is to see the great work that our students are doing. Next month will be even bigger. Several of the Skills USA events will be highlighted next month, so I look forward to that as well. Want to hand out or just mention a congratulations to Dr. Myra Newman. She is one of the regional finalists for Supervisor of the Year. She's down to 3 from our region, and so the next phase, they'll pick 1 from the region to go on, and then they'll pick from there, they'll pick 1 from each of the 3 grand divisions to be considered. So we're very appreciative of all that she does for the system, and just happy that she's receiving that recognition. Now, she's not too happy about all the work that goes along with that to apply, but we feel like that she's a very strong candidate to continue along in that competition. So thank you. Also, just wanted to mention, if you've not seen, graduation is May the 17th, Friday, May 17th at 7 o'clock. We'll have more information out soon about that, about what time we'd like for you to be there. We certainly hope that you can be there that night. It's going to be on a Friday night. That's a little bit different. That gives us the allowance. If there's bad weather, we could potentially move that to Saturday. We're not counting on bad weather. We're counting on good weather. But anyway, the 17th, so please make note of that. It's a great culminating event, obviously, for the seniors, and Hannah's going to get to experience that as well. And so please try to put that on your calendar and be there if at all possible. Also want to mention the Back to School Bash. The staff here at the central office and some of the schools, as well as community partners, continue to work on the organization of that event. It will be Monday, July 29th. Monday, July 29th. So that's a couple of days before teachers report. And it will be that evening at the high school. It'll be inside, similar to as it was last year, and that's from 6 to 8 o'clock. So we'd love for you to come and join us. You can either just come, walk around, talk to people, or we can put you to work, either way. But if you'll make note of that as well, and if you're interested in helping at that, it's a great opportunity to see tons and tons of our students and families, just outside the normal school time that we see. It's a great way to kick off the year. One of the best things we've ever done as a system, and really helps our students, I believe, get off to a great start and kind of feel that, obviously we're about academics, but we're about all those students as individuals as well. And it's a great way for us to start our work in building relationships. So, also, I think many of you received an email or a note from me. You probably received an email from TSBA as well as a note from me about the fall district meeting. That will be in September, and that will be in Greene County. We would love for all of you to attend. If you'll just make sure that you let myself or Ms. Walker know, if you can, by today, and we'll go ahead and start making arrangements for that. But it'll be in the afternoon that evening, and we can carpool down if we need to or whatever. But it's always good information. TSBA staff does a fantastic job, so you'll get lots of good information to kind of, again, just kick off the school year. So that's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Van Huss. Board member reports. I know we technically haven't had any training sessions, but anybody have anything? I think everybody has their 7 hours for this year already, so we're in good shape there. So, okay. All right, we'll move on. I know Mr. Simmerly, City Council Liaison, is not here this evening. So, Ms. Hannah, we'll turn it over to you.
Hello again. So today I would like to speak about the bathroom situation at the high school. So to start off, whenever I ran for this position back in the spring of last year, I had to make a campaign video. And a part of my video was lighthearted, but also serious, and I had positive intentions behind it. I stated that my goal as student liaison was to make each person feel like a king or a queen when sitting on the throne, aka the toilet. And so that's why I'm here to talk about that today. The bathrooms have been the #1 concern of students for many, many years. I know whenever a student liaison is running and They fill out the form on who they want to vote for. There's a little section for feedback and what they would like to see being done. And I would say 95% of those have something to do with the bathrooms. So one thing we've experienced recently, I guess over the past year, 2 years, is vandalism to the restrooms. And that's caused them to be shut down intermittently, just to fix those situations. But one of my main philosophies is that if you have a new facility, you're more likely to take care of it. If I were to give each one of you a new car, you would take pride in that. You may park it in the back of a parking lot to avoid someone denting your car in or pushing a buggy into it in the parking lot. So I believe the same thing applies to our school facilities. If new bathrooms were to be installed in our schools, students would take pride in that, and it would be a place where they know they can go and take care of business, feel like the king or queen that they are. And that's been my goal as student liaison. I know we worked on getting locks on the bathrooms. That was a small step, but a complete remodel would be fantastic. I know that was done at T.A. Duggar right after I left, so I didn't get to experience that, but I have seen them, and they're beautiful. So I'm thinking the same thing at the high school, and I believe students will take pride and be very appreciative of it. So thank you.
All right.
If it's okay, I'll just mention, thank you very much for that. You're right, this has been an ongoing conversation. It seems like every time we've geared up to do that, there's been something that's slowed that down. If you remember a couple years ago, what was it on TikTok that they had all these go in and destroy the bathroom challenges and all of these things. So some of those things have hampered, but we have talked about and have some funding available that we are going to begin to address those. So thank you for drawing light to that. And I agree. Our hope is that if we invest there, that people appreciate that and take care of it. So, thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
Hannah's throne.
Hannah's drawing.
We may name
it, yeah.
Good.
All right. It's time to move on to the regular agenda. First item, approve first reading of Board Policy 1.407, School District Records. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second? All right, have a second. All right.
Just real quickly on this, it's literally just some bookkeeping changes here. Nothing has changed from a substantive standpoint other than the fact that it specifically addressed the previous board secretary, so we needed to update that. And then if you look on page 2, there are 2 hyperlinks that lead anyone that's interested. If someone makes a request for records, there is a scale that we can charge individuals based on if we need to make them copies. And the links that were in the other policy no longer worked. The website had changed, that link had changed to the state comptroller's website. So these hyperlinks here are now correct. So that's the only 2 changes. Nothing else has changed about the policy. So appreciate your consideration on cleaning up these housekeeping items.
All right. Any questions? All right. The item is to approve first reading of Board Policy 1.407, School District Records. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And any opposed? And there are none. Next item, approve the Student Affiliation Agreement with Ballard Health and Elizabethton High School for health science students. Can I get a motion to approve? So move. And a second? Second. Okay.
Briefly about this agreement, this is new for us. It's a partnership between us and Ballard Health. It's very similar to those of you that are familiar with the health occupations program at the high school. We've had a long-standing agreement with Ivy Hall Nursing Home for our health occupation students to receive some clinical experience at that facility. This is basically the same thing. It's just with Ballard Health. So it gives our students more opportunity. We will still continue the work that we do with Ivy Hall. We value that relationship. So this doesn't affect anything there. It just gives more students more opportunity. It's basically what this is. And I want to point out one other thing. There's also, Ballard Health was awarded, you may have seen this on the news it's probably about a month or 2 ago, that Ballard Health received a substantial grant to partner with school districts in Northeast Tennessee, of which Elizabethton is one, that really hones in and focuses on the need for additional health occupations across our region. And so we're very appreciative of being part of that grant as well. So this just kind of goes hand in hand with that as well. So there's going to be all kinds of opportunities for those health students in the future about earning dual enrollment credit while they're there, possibly earning their CNA before they leave high school. So all kinds of things that the Ballard Health Grant is going to help us supplement and make those opportunities for students that much better, because all of us know if we're in that situation, we need to, us or a family member are in the hospital, we certainly want to know that we have the best staff, best equipment, all those things available. So this is an opportunity for us as a school system to help feed that pipeline of healthcare workers. So,
May I say something?
absolutely.
I think that our HOSA program is excellent. And I know that recently Ballard has received some local criticism and things of this nature, but I think that pertains to the lack of Medicaid support. But anyway, I can't say, not just because my daughter does that, but in the health field. But I think we ought to support them and Ballard, and because I'd hate to lose our local hospital. And that could very well happen. And folks, we need your help on that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, so I am actually the president of HOSA this year, so I'm very involved in that, and I was talking to Ms. Duggar and Ms. Meyer about this potential partnership, and one thing that stands out to me about it is that, yes, we've had a long-standing relationship with Ivy Hall, which is great, but several of our students, even this year, have received positions at Ballard Health as CNAs once they finish the nursing education program at our high school. So this experience doing clinicals with them will open up so many doors for them to get jobs right after this program and during college while obtaining their nursing license, which is very important for our schools and for the students.
Thank you. Any other comments? Thank you for that. All right.
So you're saying if you could vote, you would vote in favor of this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just to clarify. That's all right. Okay. The item is to approve the student affiliation agreement between Ballard Health and Elizabethton High School for health science students. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And any opposed? And there are none. Next item, approve the creation of a full-time administrative assistant position to support the work of the Coordinated School Health Program and manage logistics at the Community Development and Engagement Center. Can I get a motion to approve? So move, and a second. Got it. Thank you, Phil.
Great. So just briefly on this, as you may know, Emily Matthews was our Coordinated School Health Director, and she recently resigned and took a job with the State Department of Health. She's over the entire East region and does things, actually reaching out to schools and providing services and support as needed. So we certainly wish her well. She did a fantastic job for us. She had big shoes to fill when Miss Wilder retired, and so she did a great job coming in and carrying that program on. So once she left, we really looked closely at that program as well as another program that we had. As you know, part of our ESSER dollars back 3 years ago, we were able to hire a school social worker, and we'd never had that position before. And the person in that role has done an outstanding job. And so it just made sense as we looked at the structures that we have in place to take those two positions and merge them into one. There are several other districts around the state that have individuals that have a background in social work that are also over coordinated school health. And when you think about coordinated school health, it is so broad. It encompasses so many things. And so for us, we just felt like that was a wise move to make as the district. And part of that savings from combining those two spots into one allowed us to hire, for you to consider hiring a full-time administrative assistant that will work with the new coordinated school health director, as well as we continue work at the Union Pharmacy and we get that facility up and running, the Family Resource Center. This will give us another person there that will be able to help families and individuals when they come on site for whatever may go on. And we felt like it was important to provide some support for the individual since we were combining two roles into one. So this, again, just provides a little more support for that individual, because that is a lot. There's a lot to do. The fact that we're taking on FRC, the Family Resource Center, it just felt right to provide another set of hands to do some of the heavy lifting with that program. And it's going to be tremendously beneficial to our families and students across the district. So we're really excited. She has a real vision for what this FRC is going to look like. They've already formed an advisory council that Mr. Simmerly is part of as well, and I was able to attend that meeting. It's probably about a month and a half ago. So we feel like it's going in a great direction and are excited about this. But this position, the fact that we have the savings from that for this year. Normally we would wait till the start of the next school year, but since that one spot is vacated, it just made sense to do it now so that person can get on board and get acclimated so they can hit the ground running to start next school year.
May I ask a non-serious question?
Sure.
My wife wants to know when the drugstore sign's gonna come down.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry. As a matter of fact, the city, the inspectors wanted to know what we were gonna do with that sign. And we said, don't worry, we are going to fix that. We're trying to come up with the graphic to go in that space, so
I'll
yes.
get her off my back.
Thank you, thank you. If she has any questions, just have her call Dr. Minton.
Yeah.
He'll field that question.
All right. Anything else? All right. The item is to approve the creation of a full-time administrative assistant position to support the work of the Coordinated School Health Program and manage logistics at the Community Development Engagement Center. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Next item, approve construction management selection of Burleson Construction to complete construction of the Dave Ryder Center for Athletic Performance at Elizabethton High School from maximum amount not to exceed $3,750,000, and approve the Director of Schools to negotiate a contract to be executed by the Executive Committee. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, and a second.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second.
Okay, so real quickly on this one, Burleson Construction has worked with us about the past month trying to get the project that we have in place to fit within the funds that we have available. It's been a real challenge to get to the point to where we have a project that we feel like is a complete project that we can be proud of. And they've really stepped in and really helped us get to that point. With no promises about what may happen in the future, because that will depend on what your decision is tonight. But just to give you a brief idea of that, so it's everything we need for the facility. It's the turf, it's the gym floor. We're going to work in the weight room floor. It does not include the weight equipment. We're looking for additional donations to help fund that portion once the facility is completed. There are a few things that it does not include as well. The parking at this point would just be gravel, and there's an awning that connects that's the west end of the gym with the entrance to the facility. That's out right now. But our hope is that through the process, if we have additional savings, that there will be an opportunity to add some of those components back. And as you know, in that area of where we're going to do the construction, leading up from Jason Witten way back there, we're also going to have to look at some paving options back there anyway. So right now our focus is to try to get the building completed and then look at a master plan for that paving after that. We just feel like that's too much to bite off with the funding that we have right now. We feel like the funding that we have will get a facility that we'll be able to get in and be utilizing. It's probably going to take around a year to complete construction. So I think this time in a year from now, I think we'll be in the building or very, very close to utilizing the building. So we appreciate them. We appreciate, again, Mr. Weems, all of his work on this and their input on, well, here's what the design that Mr. Weems had, but Burleson comes along and says, well, if we do this, if we make this change, you can save X amount of dollars. And so we looked at all those VE items that would not diminish the quality of the project. It'd be things that no one would ever know. You know, you and I, when we walk in, we'll never know these subtle changes. But that's the beauty of construction management, and so that's certainly what we are excited about, partnering with Burleson to make this project a reality. Questions for me on that?
I appreciate you kind of running interference on this. It's a huge step for our system, but I know that everything changes from what you think something's going to be to what the reality is, and so quality is, we just want to have a quality facility, and that's kind of, I think, what you've been trying to work for, so I appreciate that.
And I would say that we've been very blessed in the last 15 years under previous administrations that we did that. We built quality projects that were completed that we're all still proud of today. And so I can tell you that, my opinion, this is going to be another one of those projects that will be one of the jewels of our community. It will be a focal point. And it doesn't, this is just an aside, but there's not a facility like this at a school, definitely this side of Knoxville. We may have to go much further west. I'm not really sure who has a facility like this. And there's a lot of focus on athletics, particularly football and all those things, but that it will certainly help all those extracurriculars. There's no doubt about that. But the impact it's going to have on the regular school day for every student that's in that building, every student has to take a PE, right? There's PE requirements and a half. And if the one option there is band, all of those groups are going to be able to utilize that at different times. The cadet corps will also be able to utilize that. So it will have a much bigger impact during the day, even though most people will focus on its benefits after school hours. But I've already had conversations with Dr. Minton, and obviously they're chomping at the bit to be able to get that space and spread some things out. So it will be from the 8 to 3 during the school day, it will have a tremendous impact moving forward.
Like I say, it's really going to impact the freshman team and stuff like that. As a former freshman basketball coach, we would practice late at night off campus. We couldn't transport our kids there, so this gives us another gym where we'll be able to do that right after school and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's just a win-win all the way around for everyone.
Yeah.
Academics,
Yeah,
sports, and everything.
absolutely. Not have, we're blessed to have great elementary gyms, and we'll continue to have to utilize those. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But you're exactly right. The fact that we don't have to transport those young students, those young players, athletes that can't drive, you can do it. You can do it right there on campus. And you think about the impact on families, family time after hours, as well as time to complete their studies and homework and things like that. So it will have a tremendous impact on that as well. Great.
I'd
Thank you
also
for
like to
that.
thank Mr. Weems.
Yes.
Of all these projects we've done over the years, he's helped us stay within our means and our budget, and kind of helped us direct us, with what money we had.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I think he's done a wonderful job trying to help us.
Yeah, absolutely. And since we're thanking people, we might as well thank Miss Wilson, because she continues to work her magic and find ways to help us formulate that budget that is something that we can handle. So we'll be thanking her again here in a few minutes too. So.
All right. Anything else?
May I ask a
Yeah.
question? This is not germane to what we're exactly talking about, but Mr. Van Huss mentioned to me that it looks like they're going to create a band hall of fame and things of that nature, and I can't go back to the Sycamore Show's trail where those grandmamas and mamas were jumping on me about recognizing band people. And so I was pleased to know that,
Yes.
there's something going to be done on
That. Dr. Minton and I have had conversations about creating a music hall of fame that will encompass band, choral. I mean, we have a tremendous history and some incredible successes people want to talk about. obviously Jason Witten and Evan Carter and these people that have gone on to incredible, national professional careers. But you think about people like Justin Stanton, Ronnie Brookshire, so many people. I don't want to start naming because there's so many people. There is just as much talent in that area that comes out of Elizabethton as there is athletic talent. So it's only right to do that. I think our community will appreciate that. So we're working on formulating that and making that a reality.
And we will let them come in and see this facility.
We will.
We will, that's right. All right. The item is to approve construction management selection of Burleson Construction to complete construction of the Dave Ryder Center for Athletic Performance at Elizabethton High School for a maximum amount not to exceed $3,750,000, and approve the Director of Schools to negotiate a contract to be executed by the Executive Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. Last item on the agenda, approve the award of bid number ECSS 2023-2024-3 for the first floor tile at T.A. Duggar Junior High School be awarded to Winchester Quality Flooring. Can I get a motion? Motion and a second? Second. All right.
Okay, so I think I sent you a couple pictures earlier this week of the new entrance there at T.A. Duggar and the culture wall that's been completed, and that's up. It looks fantastic. The entryway is such a huge addition to that facility. Now, when you go through those doors into the main hallway, looks a little dated. The tile is green on the first floor. Seafoam green. I didn't even know what seafoam green was, but now I know. So I'm glad. I knew it, but didn't know it. So, but anyway, there's two phases of this project. If you'll notice there, there's one amount that is the complete first floor. That would be from the cafeteria all the way down the main hallway, down beside the men's restroom, up the steps, and all the way down to the exit doors of the first floor, the fire escape on the crow's nest. So right now, we're going to focus on the cafeteria portion only. There's some issue with the tile there, and that portion is actually more expensive, even though it's smaller square footage, because there's going to have to be some plywood that's replaced underneath just from years of wear and tear and rot and things like that. So we're going to focus on that portion now. What our hope is, in talking with Winchester, they've guaranteed this quote for 3 months. So we have until the sometime there in June to make the decision. If we have some reserve funds as we get closer to the end of the year, we'll look at the possibility of doing the entire the rest of the first floor. We also have some savings from the T.A. Duggar project, somewhere around $20,000 maybe, that we'll put toward this cafeteria portion as well. But my hope is that we might be able to find a way to do that entire first floor during the summer. So just to give you a little clarification, right now, if you approve this, we'll hold that, the rest of the first floor, we'll hold that project to make sure that we have funding to do that. We will only focus on the cafeteria right now.
Okay. All right. The item is to approve the award of bid number ECSS 2023-2024-3 for the first floor tile at T.A. Duggar Junior High School to be awarded to Winchester Quality Flooring. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And any opposed? And there are none. Remind people we do have a quick budget workshop immediately following this. And the next board meeting will be Thursday, May 16th, here in the Mac Pierce Boardroom. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All right. You want to move straight in, or do you want to?
Whatever.
Anybody? Let's move straight in.
We want to move right on.
All right. Let's go.